So tonight, we are continuing from what is like what we consider as a show of shame by those who are saddled with the responsibility of managing that contraption, should I say, those who hijacked it for themselves, not for you. Tinubu and his gang. Now today, what image or the images that have been making the rounds on the social media are that of
the farmer will make more money. Your lunch will not be imported. Cassava gari, the farmers will make money. The dinner will be cassava by
Turn the so-called Yahoo boys to experts in manufacturing and creation of chips that intercept an organ.
Sorry about that. So my audio just went off there, so I quickly had to fix that, right? Please let me know if you can still hear me before I get deeper into this, right? Thank you. So, according to Tinubu, he has a program, and that program is to improve agriculture in Nigeria. In other words, to improve food production as well. So they decided to import 2,000 tractors, among many other tools, that will be distributed to farmers across Nigeria so that they could probably go back to the farm. Great idea. But we are going to talk about that at a point, okay? But the highlight of the gathering is not just about the tractors. It is about Tinubu introducing a man just from nowhere, a random man that probably right now on Google is the most searched name from a region or from certain people, Nigerians all over the world. Because Tinubu said, according to him, he said, there is this Alex, and he stood up. Alex from Belarus, that they were classmates in Chicago State University. Something that got everyone interested, like, oh, really? First, the Ronukus, they were so happy because as much as majority of them have been so shameless about the character, Tinubu, a man who has no father, no mother, he has no sibling of the same parents or cousins or what have you of his original parent, except for his adopted mother. He has no childhood friends, like mates. He has no primary school, secondary school mates. His life started from when he appeared in 1975 on a one-way ticket to Chicago, 1975. And according to Kolu, well, this Alex, was his schoolmate, kind of. So people started digging. Well, we started digging. Who is Alex? What is the full name of Alex? Alex is Alexander Lushenko, who was born in 1962. And his place of birth is East Germany, of course. His nationality is Russian, Belarusian, and he is Russian, like Chege. So, how come a 14-year-old boy was Tinubu's schoolmate So a lot of people have been developing different theory, like they defended every of his questionable past. We've had people who defended his drug dealing. We've had people who have defended his certificate forgery, those who have defended his fake careers, and so many others, like those who have also defended his plutocracy. They are at it right now. Not that any of this will matter anymore, since the Supreme Court of Injustice of the Contraption already legalized Tinubu's illegitimacy. But for the sake of the generation that needs to be taught the truth about these characters, so that they won't wake up in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, and begin to read the history of how Tinubu was such a very great Boraview leader. So we need to have the context, right? So let's go to the imported tractors, farm tools, and what have you. They said there are 2,000. I'm so sorry, right? Like, it's me there that actually counted it. Guess what? I didn't count 2,000 tractors. But anyway, we'll talk about the initiative in a moment. So let's go to that venue where it all sort of went down, right? So first, the Minister of Agriculture of Tinubu.
It is a landmark milestone in Nigeria's agricultural transformation journey. It is a bold affirmation that under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, agriculture is once again at the heart of our national development strategy. From the very first days of this administration, Mr. President made it abundantly clear: food security is national security. On the 13th of July 2023, His Excellency declared a state of emergency on food security, issued a presidential directive for urgent and innovative action, and placed agriculture firmly within the renewed hope as a tool for economic revival, job creation, and social stability. It is in furtherance of that vision that we continue to pursue practical, scalable, and innovative solutions to boost production. Mechanization remains central to this effort. It is fulfilling to mention that with the unflinching support of Mr. President's renewed hope agenda on mechanization, 4 far-reaching mechanization initiatives were instituted under this administration. These include the John Deere Tractorization Program, the Greener Hope Project, the Green Imperative Program, and what we are launching today, the Belarus Project. What began as a bold policy directive has turned into tangible results. From early stage coordination to full-scale assembly and deployment, we are already here, launching tractors and equipment that will redefine Nigeria's agricultural land today, unveiling the single largest mechanization drive ever undertaken in Nigeria. We have here before us 2,000 high-quality tractors with trailers, plows, harrows, sprayers, and planters. We also have 10 state-of-the-art 330 horsepower combine harvesters, 12 fully equipped mobile workshops, and over 9,000 complementary implements and 9,000 sets of spare parts. This program was designed by this administration to bring over 550,000 hectares of farmland under cultivation, generate more than 2 million metric tons of staple food, create over 16,000 jobs, and directly benefit more than 550,000 farming households across all 6 geopolitical zones. Beyond equipment delivery, this initiative offers a complete support system. It includes mandatory training for operators and mechanics, GPS-enabled tracking for transparency and accountability, a structured repayment and repossession framework, and financing through development and non-interest banks. Pro bono allocations have also made to key research and training institutions to strengthen national capacity in mechanization. Crucially, this program will offer a unique opportunity to attract and engage Nigeria's vibrant youth population. It will create new jobs, not only on farms, but also in equipment handling, maintenance, logistics, extension services, and
on and on and on. Sounds good, yeah? On paper. Because without security, all of this is just theatric, just kind of like putting up a show, wastage, and all that. But just before I continue, there is this, what do you call it? There is this comment I just clocked while we were listening to that guy. It's from Facebook, by the way. So let me see that name. Genny CC or something. I don't know if that's a real person or like a real name. So your comment is this. Let me put it on the screen quickly. The problem you're facing anywhere comes from the Yorubas who vow to stand by one Nigeria 24/7. It was Yoruba's holdings Southerners down for emancipation of the Zoo Nigeria Arab. So I'm going to have you listen to it because there are people who probably have the same mindset like you. All right. And on Mayegun's Diary Political, we kind of like try our best to, one, educate people like you. But we realize that there are people like this with this kind of mindset that are irredeemable. Don't even try to want to educate them. But here is the thing. I am a Yoruba man, and I can tell you that more than half of the Yorubas will leave Nigeria without blinking if the opportunity is presented. Or when yeah? Now, Yorubas holding the Southerners down is so convenient for somebody, probably a faceless Biafran agitator or something. But take a look at it this way. Wherever it is that you see the criminals who are benefiting from this contraption from Yoruba land, as much as they do not represent any of the interest of the Yorubas, the same thing is what you have in Igbo land, right? But maybe some of you feel like everyone is as stupid as you sound because some of you don't probably listen to your own voice. You have the likes of Oplesus Odingba. He's a state governor. He's an executive governor holding Imo State for APC. He's not just holding it down. He's trying to enforce Ruga. He has killed hundreds, if not thousands, of young Igbos, jailed some of them, got some of them missing, all because of his defense for these Fulanis. There's nothing like that in Yoruba land. As horrible as the Yoruba criminal politicians are, there's nothing like that in Yoruba land. Right? So, and then you have them everywhere, you know. In Ebonyi State, where this Devulumayi come from, the criminals they put together, right, that they called Ebubeagu, that was put together to counter the security ESN put in place by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The whole effort of decimating the IPOB, criminalizing them, and all of that, right? They were not done by the Yorubas, and all this effort was because of what? Because your Igbo elites are benefiting from Nigeria too. So you can jump from one place to another, call the Yorubas names, go and do your bigotry Olympics on this social media, but somehow you probably need the proper education, okay? Because as you are pointing that one finger, you will be so stupid to not see the direction the remaining fingers are pointing. Do you get that? So as you are probably smelling around to look for who is smelling, you forgot that you actually stink too. So if all of us want to actually be honest, we'll concentrate more on the roads. And I'm talking about not just on social media bragging of what you can do. Face them. Hopeless or Digba and the rest of those who opened the eastern part of Nigeria for the access of these Fulani terrorists should be your concern, not the Yaribas. The Yaribas holding the southwest down, right? Fucking illiterate. Anyway, back to these shenanigans of these rogues, because I have said this many times. It's only stupid person that is fighting tribal, ethnic, religious madness on social media. A very low life. Somebody who is a low life is going to dedicate his time, his energy, fighting tribal, ethnic nonsense. Why your elite? From every tribe in Nigeria, they are either participating in the destruction of the country right now, or they've participated, or, you know what I mean? Like everyone is like a teamwork. They don't have tribe, they don't have religion, but you are so stupid enough to be a keypad warrior. Thinking you actually think you make sense. The Yaribasa. Morons. Anyway, how do you put such investment together in a country that is battling everyday killings coordinated by this Fulani terrorists from the north to the south, from the west to the east? People are being displaced left, right, and center. Everyone is aware that the food insecurity that Nigeria is suffering from today, the increase in poverty, and all this, the primary cause is the insecurity. And who are those behind that? The Fulani terrorists. Fulani terrorists. So if a government is investing so much to improve education, improve agriculture, what do you think should be the primary thing? Should that same government be on hand planning to also invest in ranches for terrorists? Or should actually the real justice should be the perpetrators, the culprit, the murderers, these terrorists should be brought to trial, to justice. And every farmer should return back to their land, their ancestral land where they have been farming from centuries before this whole madness started. So how do you put the two together? And somebody will say, when we say you are deceiving the people, others will be like, you need to have faith. Faith in what? Are you aware that Bokwari took a loan of $2.1 billion from the African Development Bank, AFDB, in which your former Minister of Agriculture, Adesina, was the president at the time? $2.1 billion. Guess what? It was an idea brought about, something like this. So it was even more than this, $2.1 billion. They called it ANCOS Borrowers Program. That's a lot of money. Guess what? At the time, with the exchange rate at the time, Baba, we are talking about over 1.5 to 2 trillion naira at the time. And what was the idea then? Was to use the money to procure farm tools like this, cultivate lands, hectares of it, thousands of it. And that would be like, they would do what they call the holders, something like a farm holders something group. So people grouped themselves all over Nigeria. In northern part of Nigeria, where the 80% of the money was directed, farmers were grouped across northern Nigeria. And the money was allocated to serve the purpose of providing good seedlings that will yield this and that, cultivating of the land. This, just said to them, they were to cultivate different kind of food, rice, millet, wheat, sorghum, and others, Guess what? By the time they get to 2021 or so, or where was that time they did the rice pyramid in Abuja? By the time it was harvest time, a year after, half of those lands and farms were taken over by terrorists. Like half, more than half, were taken over by terrorists.